All right, this is the start of the Personnel Committee. We're delayed a little bit. We now have a quorum with Alder Stoyer, Dorf, and myself, Galvin, present. So that takes care of a roll call.
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That passes unanimously, and I'll look for approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Alder Stoyer, and all in favor?
Aye.
That passes unanimously.
Regular business.
Now we're on to regular business. Good, okay. Under D1, regular business, consideration of possible action on request from Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department to reclassify the vacant mechanic four-person position to a mechanic position. Staff.
So you have attached the memo from HR Operations Manager Falk that discusses they looked at the position and just assessed that there's not a need for a four-person, just a need for a mechanic, so that's what the memo outlines.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for staff on this?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Consider a motion.
Move to accept this
I will.
position.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That passes unanimously. Consideration with possible action to amend City of Green Bay Personnel Policy, Chapter 11, Travel and Reimbursement to eliminate prior authorization for cost-neutral or out-of-state travel. Staff, we had this once before, and I can't remember why we sent it back to you.
So the reason why, so at the last common council meeting, it was approved to have in-state travel treated the same as out-of-state travel, in the sense that the common council will approve the budget, and then the department heads will be the ones authorizing the in-state and out-of-state travel. So it had to come back to staff to make the changes to the policy, then you guys approve the policy. Going forward with some of these situations, I think what we can do is, if we have it approved at personnel at the committee, I can ask that we approve that staff makes the appropriate changes for common council, so we don't have to send it back to the next meeting.
Okay.
And then at common council, you can approve the policy language and see if we want to send it back or hold it again.
Okay.
So in the past, how did we do it? We just,
We had to approve every single time.
Every time.
single, even when it was cost neutral.
okay. I would think that the department head should have discretion once the money's in their budget.
And that's what the changes outlined will allow.
Okay, I'm good.
Make a motion.
Motion to accept.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Passes unanimously. Number 3, consideration with possible action to amend Chapter 17, Safety, and Chapter 22, Dress Code to include policies for key card access control and employee identification badges. Staff.
So the city bonded for some funds to upgrade the security for City Hall. So part of that is having the electronic door access and also key cards for our employees. So you have is the policies for Chapter 17 is the safety policy has been amended to go over our key card access control policy, and that's the purpose is for the safety and security of our employees, and then it outlines kind of the policies of it. So the HR department and the IT department will be responsible for issuing the keys and tracking it. We're gonna make sure that it's the least number of keys are given to our employees. So some employees might not even get a key because they don't need one. Others might get more than one. Or excuse me, and it'll be electronic, so the access to certain rooms will be for different employees. And then, again, any lost or stolen keys, they need to contact HR, let us know that they're lost or stolen so we can deactivate them. If it's or employees are not allowed to have any unauthorized possession of keys, so they couldn't duplicate the keys or give it to anyone else. And then this, just to make sure we're clear on this, this is only going to apply to City Hall employees. We have other facilities and buildings out there. This does not apply to them. So this is for the access to City Hall buildings, or City Hall rooms and floors.
And we've budgeted the money to secure those areas of City Hall that we want to secure?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess I just wanted to know the areas, but in a way, you don't want to let that out. I mean, part of it is security, for security reasons.
Yeah, I think generally, I mean, there's going to be access for, the main doors and then throughout City Hall, and certain employees will have access to more rooms than others.
Because some departments, like IT, the door is locked, you have to ring to get in. But other departments, you can walk in
Yeah.
to the department. So I was just wondering what some of that reasoning would be.
And it's mainly just for, I think, security purposes. Like, we did the renovation on the 6th floor. Those are all going to have electronic door access, so they're going to need key cards and access cards for that. So we're trying to move to have more electronic access throughout City Hall.
But those would be the other doors, the entry doors would be, for the public to get in.
Yep, so we have City Hall hours throughout the day, it's 8 to 4:30,
Right,
they're
right.
open.
Okay.
And then after those hours, certain employees will have access.
Okay,
The public will
that
not.
makes sense. Okay.
Makes a lot of sense. I'm glad we're getting
This'll-
help with the security stuff.
This will document who comes in and when?
I believe we'll be able to track that.
Okay,
Yes, it will.
okay. All right, and are we planning on expanding this at any time to other municipal buildings?
We have not discussed that at this time, but I think that'd be something we would look into.
Okay, all right.
So then, so are we going to take each of these three things separately, or?
No, I think you could approve the item as a whole and then each one.
Okay, so you can talk about the employee ID badge.
Yeah, so the employee ID badges, essentially, we just had two policies that were amended. One was the safety to talk about the access control policy, and then the dress code policy was amended to state that employees are going to receive an ID badge, and then that they have to, they wear the badge to show that the public employs that they are an employee, and then it's, they will be expected to wear this where it's visible so we can see it on them, and that they'll have to return it if they leave the state.
Would it be on a lanyard or on a clip, or?
So the employee can decide what they want to do,
Decide.
if they want to have a clip or a lanyard, wherever it's visible, or maybe on their belt or something like that.
So
How do
that
you
would
feel
open the
about-
door as well as, that would open the door as well as be an identifier, both?
It's a fob.
It's a
So we
fob,
have-
it's a fob.
Okay.
Okay.
What we're going to be doing is, you have the option of either having your ID card as an access card, if you want to, or you could have an ID card that would not be an access card, and you'd have a fob if you would prefer that to have on your keychain or something like that. So the employees will have the option if they want to do either one.
And how do we feel about, will the alders be able to have an ID card too?
I think we could certainly give alders an ID card, and if we wanted
Some
to.
days.
That'd be nice.
I've got a little.
I guess if
We
they're
have
going to
the
wear
little
it
tiny-
for the purpose of
Yeah, like little picture
identification,
might be nice.
putting it on their belt seems maybe not such a good idea.
Yeah, just wherever it's visible. I know some people, sometimes it's visible, sometimes it's not.
Well, but you have to be able to see the picture and be able to identify them without getting too in their personal space, I guess.
But having 20-some years of experience with this in Green Bay schools, it is okay to have it on the belt. It
Yeah.
really is. Belt or up here, around the neck. The belt works pretty well. As
That might-
long, it can't be covered though by a shirt.
Well,
So
that's
I
the
think
thing.
there's some people that have it on their belt.
Visible.
It's like they can extend it, they can use it to open
Yeah.
up doors.
Retracting things.
Yeah.
Expected, it says, in a visible spot during the work time. So you got that covered. It's not covered up, so that's right in
All right.
there.
Any other thoughts or concerns? No?
Motion to accept.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to accept and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That passes unanimously. Down to informational. Report of routine personal actions for regular employees.
Yeah, if you have any questions, the report's attached for you.
I had none.
Move to receive and place in file.
Okay, we have a motion to receive and place on
I'll second-
file.
I'll second
We have a
that.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and next meeting date, February 12th, 2019.
Yeah.
That's good. All right.
That's good.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There we are.
There we are.
Done. All right, you
Well,
may make it for finance, but.
Well, thank you all for being here.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, we're just coming in. Anyway.
Thank you for coming.